Good afternoon. Thanks for being here on such a beautiful sunny day. I'm glad Mr. Conway, brought all this good weather up in Florida, right? My name is Joe Christie, and as president of the Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our 31st induction ceremony. Congratulations to all of our new inductees, and thanks to all of you especially for being here today to honor them. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the people who worked so hard all year to make this event possible. The board of directors of this Hall of Fame. To my right is Millard Mike Pack, George Lading, our senior advisor, our newest member, Kathy Sladdix, and the former athletic director and instructor here at the college, Ken McLaughlin. It is because of their hard work, not just mine, that this Hall of Fame is what it is today. A lasting tribute to those men and women who have enriched the tremendous sports heritage of our great area. Thanks again, fellas and ladies, for all your help. Athletics taught us how to accomplish a lot in our lives. They taught us how to accomplish a goal, either individually or as part of a team, by matching our will to succeed against others' will to succeed. That's why we all played, and that's why we all watch today. It keeps the little boy and the little girl and all of us. Competing taught us many life lessons. It taught us how to win, but more importantly, it taught us how to lose. We learned that having tried and failed was certainly better than never having tried at all. Lessons learned on the athletic fields and the courts certainly have helped lead us successfully through life's journey. The great Hall of Fame boxer Muhammad Ali once said, "The champions aren't made in gyms, they're not made on fields. They have something deep inside of them, and that's a tremendous, clear vision of what they wanted to succeed. The will to succeed must always be greater than the skill needed to accomplish that deed." All of our inductees today had that strong will to succeed. That is why they are here today, about to become the newest members of the Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Jenny and Pat and Randy Ruger and Danny Wiseman. Due to other commitments, couldn't be here today, but I got some nice letters to read to you when we get to their part. So again, congratulations. Now, and to get to the formal part of our ceremony. Our first inductee today, sitting to my left, I went to high school, Tatsco High School, 1963 to 1966, attended Salisbury State College, graduating in 1970. In high school, he played varsity basketball at the Tatsco. At Salisbury, he was a three-sport star, basketball, baseball, and soccer. In basketball, he was a winner of 11 Sportsmanship Award presented by the basketball officials, and if any of you ever played basketball, it's hard to get an award from an official. He scored 1,128 points in his career, which is second all-time at Salisbury, and had 630 rebounds, which is 12th all-time. In baseball, he was named to the 1969 All-Star Collegiate Baseball Team, where as a pitcher, he had a 6-3 win-loss record and a 1.25 ERA, and that's an all-time record at Salisbury. In soccer, he was a member of the varsity soccer team, 1968 and 1969. But more importantly, in this area, at Tatsco High School, he came back to his alma mater. He was a teacher and coach at Tatsco High School from 1973 to 1995. Was only away for 1 year in 1982. While at Tatsco, he coached varsity basketball for 22 years. During those 22 years, his teams won 199 games, 2 divisional championships, 1 county championship, and 1 state semifinalist. And he also coached golf for 13 years. Had 12 winning seasons out of those 13, 2 division titles, and I guess, his most famous golfer, his most famous alum, is Jessica Fernandez. who won a state title. She was a state champion, and still is a tremendous golfer today. I know I can't come anywhere close to beating her. So at this time, it's my great pleasure to present to you our first inductee, Patrick J. Conway Jr.
Well, when I got a letter that I was going to receive this award, it said nothing about getting up here and speaking. First thing I heard about us having to talk was from Eddie DeVan. He said, "Yeah, I had to talk." So, it's something. It's an honor. Like I said, I drove 1,000 miles to get here. That's how much I thought of it. And I've always been proud to be from Dundalk. This is, we live in Daytona Beach now, which is great. Anybody asks me where I'm from, it's Dundalk. Most of the people down there from the area are from Baltimore. I'm from Dundalk. This is me. I got a very good start here. I went to Tapsico. The coaches that I had for basketball and baseball, certainly helped me a great deal, and it got me interested enough to want to pursue it, even more. And when I went away to college, I guess I blossomed a little more than I did here because I wasn't much of a player here. But I certainly enjoyed playing, and the coaching aspect, coaching is certainly different. I coach basketball and I coach golf. With the basketball, it was great. It really was. I had some great kids who, always worked hard, and it's certainly a little more competitive than golf. But golf is such a nice sport too. It gets kids interested in doing something that they can do for the rest of their lives. And I'd certainly like to thank everybody from the Dundalk Hall of Fame and appreciate being honored this way. Thank you.
Our next inductee, unfortunately, couldn't be here today. He lives in New Jersey, but he had to attend a wedding out of town, and he was really distraught that he couldn't be here today. And he sent me a nice email, and I want to read it to you. And it says, "It is with great disappointment and sadness that I won't be able to attend the annual induction ceremony of the Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame due to my being out of town with a previously scheduled appointment. Please convey my great sense of honor and deep appreciation for having been included in this year's list of inductees. It is truly overwhelming to be considered worthy of being part of such an outstanding group of athletes and members of the community. I would ask that you, meaning me, extend my deepest thanks to all the board members and anybody that had anything to do with his election. Best regards, Randall Ruger." Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Randy. I know I happened to have played ball with him one year, but I know he grew up in Sparrows Point. He went to Baltimore Polytechnic High School, Poly. He played varsity football at Poly and varsity baseball. He was part of the MSA, the old MSA, Maryland Scholastic Association. Poly was, the team was baseball champions in 1966 under legendary coach Bob Lumsden. Because of his athletic prowess at Poly, he received a football scholarship to Bucknell University. Not only did he play football at Bucknell, he played baseball too and excelled in both. Randy was co-captain of the 1969 Bucknell football team and the 1970 baseball team, and was the NCAA batting champion in 1969. He was all Middle Atlantic Conference defensive back in football in 1968 and 1969, and an all-MAC outfielder in baseball. Randy in 1969 led the nation in batting with a .494 average and in slugging percentage with an .883 percentage. He batted a league best .618 in MAC games, which is the conference that Bucknell was in, and also ranked in the top 5 in the nation in runs batted in, triples, and home runs. Randy hit .398 throughout his career at Bucknell and set 13 school baseball records, which are still standing. He was also a 3-year starter defensive halfback, had 4 career interceptions, and received honorable mention Little All-America honors and first-team All-State honors. Randy was elected to the Bucknell Hall of Fame class of 1982. And another little sidelight about Randy, my good friend Skip Shifley, who's in the back, who's a member of the Hall of Fame, went to Poly. He knew Randy as well, and we ran into Sam Havelack. You might remember him. He was a backup quarterback for the Colts and was on the 71 Super Bowl winning team. He also was a quarterback at Bucknell and played with Randy. And he made the comment to both Skip and I that Randy Ruger, because we mentioned his name, was probably the best athlete he had ever played with, either in college or the pros. And when you think about who he might have played with, I couldn't think of a better honor than that. So unfortunately he couldn't be here, but I know how appreciative he is of this award. So it's Randy Ruger. Okay. I hope you all have about a half hour for me to talk about this lady. All the accomplishments that she has. Our next inductee is Virginia, or affectionately known as Ginny Snuggs. She also is a graduate of Patapsco High School. Went on to Bridgewater College. Virginia earned 9 varsity letters at Patapsco while playing 3 sports: basketball, field hockey, and softball. She was the first female to earn 9 varsity letters at her high school. She was one of the all-time best female athletes ever to come out of her high school. Virginia was named the 1968 Patapsco Female Athlete of the Year. Virginia went on to Bridgewater on a full scholarship and had a stellar career as a 3-point star, as a 3-sport star in field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse. She earned 12 varsity letters during her 4-year career at Bridgewater and was a key performer in each of the sports that she played. In field hockey, Ginny was selected to the Blue Ridge and Southeast teams all 4 seasons as a starter. She was also chosen to play in the national tournament her junior season. Ginny had a stellar career during her 4 years on the women's basketball team. She was the leading scorer and rebounder as a junior and senior. She also led the team in assists as a senior. During the 71-72 season, her team reached the postseason at the national level for the first time in school history, reaching the Region 2 semifinals against Tennessee Martin. Ginny was named the All-Tournament team. Her basketball team finished second in the Virginia Federation of Intercollegiate Sports for Women in 1971 and 72. At the end of her career, Ginny ranked all-time in the following school records: 6th in rebounds with 256 in 1971-72, 1st and 7th in season rebounds per game with an average of 12.2 and 9.6 in 1970-71, 13th in season assists with 125, and 5th in season assists per game with 6 in 1971-72. Now, in lacrosse, Ginny was a 4-year starter on the team and was selected to the All-State team all 4 years. In 1969, she was named to the Southern District lacrosse team and competed in the national tournament. In 2001, Ginny was selected to the Bridgewater College Sports Hall of Fame. And her career didn't end after college. She continued to play slow pitch softball and went to the National World Championships tournaments a total of 12 times. She has been a member of co-ed and women's league teams that have made it to the Nationals and Worlds 12 times, as I said. Ginny was named to the All Patapsco 50th Anniversary Girls Basketball, Field Hockey, and Softball teams. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you a lady that I didn't know had all these accomplishments. Mrs. Virginia Ginny Snuggs.
I wasn't expecting to say anything either. I'm sitting there panic-stricken when he gets up to talk, thinking, "Oh Lord, the wheels have got to turn." After that, I'm exhausted. At 64, I should really be tired. But I appreciate the honor. It's great to be back. And like Pat said, we're from Dundalk. most people say, where the hell is that? You know, it's like, so I guess those of us that are here only know the ones that know where it is. Ocean City, they know where that is. But it's great to be back. I come home often. I've been in Fredericksburg. This is my 43rd year teaching middle school PE. And I'm not done yet, but you would think I would be after all this. But I'd like to thank the committee for my nomination. I'd like to thank my younger sister, Betty Mae, and her husband, Larry, for coming in. They still live in the area. My two nieces, Jennifer and Stephanie. My great-nephew, who this is his third time coming to the inductions. He was at my Bridgewater induction, the Tapsco induction, and now he's at this one. So he's come a long way, too. And my best friend, Judy, from Fredericksburg, that I dragged her to all of them. It's like partner in crime, just keep me company driving, I guess. But being at Tapsco High School, when you go back, it's just like going to Bridgewater when I go back. It's like going home. Everything just feels right. It felt right to go to Bridgewater to go to school. I loved it. I loved high school. I loved going to junior high at North Point. Of course, that's now the police academy. That might tell you something. The elementary school they tore down across the street, Spring Manor. But I mean, I'm just speechless, which is hard to believe for me because I talked the whole way up from Fredericksburg. But this is definitely a great honor. I appreciate those of you that came out for Pat and for the other inductees. And I totally am flabbergasted that I even got this letter. And I appreciate everything that you all have done. And please continue the good work. Any help you need, just don't hesitate to give me a call. And thank you very much.
Our next inductee is a pro athlete, but he just retired. I got an email from him. He attended Dundalk High School, grew up in this area. Danny Wiseman was 6 when he bowled 10 pins for the first time in his life. He found the whole atmosphere to be intoxicating. What was intoxicating about it? He said gigantic bowling balls, the smell of oil. He said you knock down stuff, the ball comes back to you and you get to knock it down again. That's what he found fascinating about it. He bowled his first 300 game at age 15. 4 years later, he won his first title on his first career TV appearance at the Fairlanes Open in Woodlawn, walking away at that time, which was big bucks, $27,000, and the confidence to think that he could finally bowl with the big boys. He was as far from the stereotypical fat guy bowler as you could get. He was lean and mean, with a body fat of marble after months of working with a personal trainer. He was known for his colorful, flame shirts that looked like hot rod decals come to life. People were saying, "What the hell are you doing, Danny?" He says, "I'm wearing shirts that I want to wear. I want people to know who I am." That's why he put his name. He was the first pro bowler to put his name on the back of his shirt. And soon after that, all the bowlers on the tour had their names on the back of the shirt. In 2004, Danny won his lone major, the Miller High Life Masters. It was held in Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was the first time a bowling championship, a televised one, had ever been held in a Major League Baseball stadium. It had a rock concert atmosphere, with fans banging thunder sticks and doing the wave. Nobody had a better week than Danny Wiseman, the TV announcer said. He was the consummate showman who pumped his fist and played to the crowd. And with 8 straight strikes in his first game, he blew his opponent out of the ballpark. Danny Wiseman was a 12-time PBA Tour winner and was elected to the PBA Hall of Fame in Indianapolis, Indiana in March of 2013. And again, Danny sent his apologies to not being able to be here. His father passed away just a couple of years ago, and his mother just recently had a stroke. So it is my great pleasure to formally induct Danny Wiseman, so deserving, into our Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame. And this is always a tough one to do because this fellow was such a good friend of all of us here and of all my colleagues here. In August of 2008, our close friend and member of our board passed away from an awful illness. Bruce Mills was very active in our community. Some of the things he did, he was president of the Dundalk Heritage Association, president of the Dundalk Eastfield Rec Council, and in particular a member of our Hall of Fame. Bruce's love of sports and his commitment to his community were second to none. To keep his memory alive with us, the board in 2008 established an award to be given in his name. This award is given annually to a person in our community who has followed his lead in volunteering their services and many, many hours of their time to enrich our sports programs. Previous recipients of this award were Thomas Lotman, Joe Falbo, who happens to be here today, Joe Tusa, Fred Thies, and John Maynard Krause. So it is my extreme pleasure to present this year's award to a lady who practically dedicated most of her adult life to the growth of the community by coaching, running rec programs, and teaching every child good sportsmanship and how to grow up, more importantly, to be a good citizen. Her contributions to this effort are way too numerous to mention. Just suffice it to say that she epitomizes everything that my friend Bruce stood for. It is my extreme pleasure to introduce to you to this year's winner of the Bruce Mills Community Service Award for Athletics, Deborah McConaughey.
Unlike you all, I knew I had to speak. That's because they wanted me to keep it short. Yes, it's true. Hi, how are you? Yes, it's true. I worked alongside Bruce many years. Bruce was a man of very few words. Didn't need to say a whole lot of words. I have one outstanding memory, one thing that he taught me that I can't quite grasp yet, and I'm getting better at it, is delegate. And what am I going to do? Delegate. Just delegate. You guys know what I'm talking about. He would delegate things. This is why he can be president and sit there and we all have energy. Oh, you do this. And people did it, just like me. Yes, I have put in a lot of community service hours, a lot of time, no more than a lot of you out there have. I see faces. Bob back there, who I've known, St. Faldo. Oh, it is Faldo, it's not Joe. Faldo, Gloria, McJelton, many faces I've seen over the years. So I'm not alone in putting in the time, that's for sure. It was and still is very, I know what I've gotten out of Rec and Parks as a child. My best friend for life, she's here. She got me started when I was in 6th grade. So I know how much Rec and Park means. I know if you just give a child the time, the effort, and you can't do everyone, but there are some that need it more. Some are just basically talented. You have to teach them how to go about growing up and accepting their good talents and helping the ones that don't have those talents. Hopefully I've made an impression in that way. But with Bruce, Bruce was a very dear friend to many of us. It was devastating when we lost him. I don't think I'll ever really I'm over it, but I don't think I'll ever meet another man that has known so many people and has not, patted himself on the back. He just did things. He started Santa in the park, so you get involved. It's not me just, making these things up. It's the activities and the programs being there already, and you just jump in, and it's hard to say no to Bruce. Especially, he used to call me kiddo. When he called me kiddo, I knew, okay, we're good. When he called and say, Deb, I'm like, oh no, what are we doing? Bruce was an awesome man. I couldn't be happier that I was able to get this award on his behalf. It's really strange because today would have been Santa in the Park, which Bruce started many years ago. It's rained out. So they're not having it today, but it was going to be today. And this award ceremony is today. And I'm thinking, what better day for me to actually feel this and get more out of this would be today. Because this was Bruce's and our area, Dundalk, Eastfield. This was their proud day of Santa Park. So all of you who know Bruce, have known Bruce, have your own stories. My story is I adored him. He was good to my family. By the way, I have my mother-in-law in the back, right over there. My son, my daughter-in-law, my daughter, my daughter-in-law's girlfriend, my husband, oh, the phone calls he took and all the people he hung up with. He's a gentleman sitting down because he can't stand up, but he's good, And my best buddy, Michael, my brother, he lives in the woods, he's a forest ranger. He came out of the woods for this today. So, Diane knows Bruce well. Bruce is a good man to work for, whether you got paid or not. So I thank you. I don't know how this came about. I'm surprised I didn't even know this award existed, but I am honored and blessed to have known Bruce and his leaders. Thank you.
Senator Stone was going to be here today, but I think most of you, if you know Senator Stone, he was our state senator for 52 years, Senator Emeritus. He's retiring this year. And he was kind enough to present citations to all of our Hall of Fame inductees and to Debbie. And I just want to read what it says. The Maryland General Assembly official citation. Be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Danny Wiseman, but all of them have their own, in recognition of being inducted into the Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame, presented on the 6th day of December 2014 by Senator Norman R. Stone, Jr. of Baltimore County, Legislative District 6. So I want all of you to receive your citations. Virginia. Okay. All right. When you put something together like this, it takes a lot of effort on a lot of people's parts. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the people that had a lot to do with this. First off, CCBC, you know, the Dundalk campus is great in allowing us to use the facilities and to house our plaques. I want to thank, in particular, Tanya Jones, who works, you know, very close with me with this. Mark Arsler, who's in the back. He's currently the athletic director at Dundalk. Mark, would you stand up? I want to thank you. He's a big help. The Dundalk Eagle, Roland Dorsey to my right. The Dundalk Eagle is our publicity one. And special thanks to a lady that's in the back with a camera. It's Patty Duggar. She, you know, has put together, you know, we're moving into the 21st century somehow. But we have a Facebook page. And those of you, if you can get on Facebook, that's the Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame. All the inductees are listed in there in chronological order. All their plaques, pictures of them are in there. We've gotten some nice compliments from people in Florida that could show their plaque to their grandkids that maybe can't make it up here. Didn't drive 1,000 miles like Pat did. So make sure you visit, you know, our Facebook page. And hopefully in the next year, our goal is to come up with a website that will be easily accessible to everybody. Now, before I say a few more words, at this time, if you notice, we've got a vacant chair over here in the middle. Again, it's always tough to do this, but we had a legend in Dundalk pass away this past June, and that was Mr. Charles Holston, and he was on our board from day one. Charlie is legendary around here. He's always known as Mr. Charlie. At this time, I'd like to ask Ken McLaughlin to come up and tell you a little bit about Charlie and what our plans are.
Charlie was a 1945 graduate of Patterson High School in downtown Baltimore. Was a longtime successful and beloved coach at CCBC Dundalk. Coached softball for 23 years, 1980 to 2003, bowling for 8 years, 84 to 92, and volleyball for 9 years, 83 to 91. Over that span, his teams won 3 championships, 89 Region 20 women's bowling, 1990 Maryland JUCO Conference softball, 1992 NJCAA Region 20 men's bowling. He also coached 6 NJCAA All-Americans. He was very active in amateur football, baseball, and softball, great in military leagues and on the local ball fields. He is a member of 3 existing Hall of Fames. Maryland Fast Pitch Softball in 1985, Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame in 1986, Baltimore Boys of Summer 2012, and recently into the CCBC Hall of Fame in the year 2013. He was also president of the Maryland Old Timers Fast Pitch Softball Association for an outstanding 30 years. On a personal note, Charlie was my longtime friend and my surrogate father. We came to Dundalk Community College the same in 1980 over the summer. Worked together for over 30 years. The empty seat is in memory of him. He is very sorely missed as a beloved member of our Dundalk, Greater Dundalk Sports Hall of Fame Board of Trustees. So in honor of Charlie, you're very, very seriously missed.
Currently, the Hall of Fame, our Hall of Fame, we sponsor 3 scholarships here at the college. The Nick Wischuk Scholarship Award, that Nick was an original board member. He passed away in 1994, and we've given an award out in his name. Several years ago, we lost another board member, and it was another dear friend of all of us, Richard McGill. We established a scholarship in his name in the School of Business. And now, and Mark, I would like you to come up here, if you would. We decided, since Charlie loved his school and coached girls' women's softball for 23 years, we thought it would only be right to establish a scholarship to be given to a women's softball player here at the college, and it will be called the Charlie Holston Scholarship Award. And I talked with Mark about it, and he's certainly on board with it. Charlie's meant a lot to all of us, not only here at the college, but to the greater community at Dundalk. I know Rowan over here to my right said we wish we would have set down Charlie because he was a man of a million stories. And we could have made a lot of money selling a book with all of Charlie's stories because he was a legend. He knew everybody. So Mark, I just wanted to tell you that we've got the approval from the board to establish that scholarship in Charlie's name, and you and I and the board will work on the parameters of it. The only thing I need to ask, and this isn't a fundraising thing, but the only fundraiser we have as a board is our golf tournament. And it's the first Friday in May every year. This year is May the 3rd. So any of you that play golf or any of you that don't play golf, if you can sponsor a tee sign or send us a donation or whatever, all the money goes to scholarships here at the college in the name of board members or whatever. So, and one other thing I want to mention when we're done here today, I want you to congratulate the inductees and hang around. We got a lot of food out there. Every year we got a ton left over. So please, I hope you didn't eat lunch or anything like that. So hang around for the food and all that. So, Mark, would you like to say anything on behalf of the college?
Just appreciate it. Just a quick thank you. Certainly, we all know what Charlie meant to our institution, and we're very appreciative to have this award in his memory. Thank you.
All right, I think that officially ends the formal part of this program. So please come up and personally congratulate them. And don't leave without filling up your stomachs, okay? Thanks again.